Hi, I'm Kim Morrison, health and lifestyle educator, aromatherapist, and founder of 28. This week we are all back into school, and I thought rather than as a mum saying what I think should all be the things that we do, I am very proud to say that my son, who's just headed into year 11 this year, has gladly agreed to be on camera with us this week, and I thought it'd be a really good opportunity to actually ask what it's like from his perspective. So first of all, thank you.
That's right.
I didn't pay him, but I'd love to ask you, Jacob, what does it mean for you to get back into school and to make these next 2 years really count? What matters to you?
I think organisation is my main one. I've got to be organised the night before, so all my school gear out, my food, my lunch, and then I'd say this next one I need is physical activity for just taking my mind off other things like rugby training. That takes my mind off like the scary start to the year or the long hard year. And I'd just say organisation is the main one.
I'd like to reiterate one of the other ones that you said, which was food.
Food, yeah, definitely.
What do you mean food? Like, what matters to you as a 16-year-old as opposed to me as a mum?
My favourites is just coming home after school and there's like cold meats in the fridge, so like you've got your pulled pork, your ham, bacon to cook that up. That's always nice.
And as far as lunches are concerned, you know, so many kids out there have bread in their lunch boxes. I know we're not a family that has a lot of bread, but what's your favourite go-to lunch?
I'd just say a salad with like cold meats. I like salad and maybe chicken from the night before, or just some cold hams.
And you're not really a sweet person. You know, you're not someone that craves a lot of chocolate or lollies or things like that. But what are your favourite kind of snacks? Do I get it right?
Yeah, you do. I like your Luigi biscuits with the jam in the middle. They're always nice. And your muffins, your gluten-free, dairy-free muffins, they're always nice. I love the little snacks, but just...
The dried fruit you said is one of
Yeah,
your
the
favourite
dried
lately.
fruit, yeah.
So we have a dehydrator, and yesterday we had a whole lot of fruit from the markets, and overnight I dehydrated it all. Pineapple, we do mango, and we've done apple, and that's a pretty good snack. What about things like, are you a boiled egg, a hummus and celery? Do you like those sorts of things?
Yeah, I do like my boiled eggs, so then with a bit of salt and pepper just packed into the lunchbox, peeled them the night before. They're always nice. I don't mind, I'm not a fan of carrots, but I like celery and hummus as a little go-to snack.
What about a thermos? Are you someone who'd be open at 16 years of age to get out your thermos and have a hot lamb stew, or is that not cool, or is it kind of okay?
To be completely honest, I don't really like having to carry the whole thermos and then worrying about it tipping, or like, it's a lot of effort, I guess, for a 16-year-old boy. But I've had a few thermoses with like lamb curries in them before, but they're so nice to eat there. But I think as a 16-year-old boy, it's just easy to throw some meat and some salad together.
Yeah.
And that's always nice.
And tell me, as far as school is concerned, we both know that these next 2 years, for you in particular, are big years. Homework, studying, committing to work, like, how does that look for you this year?
I've just got to have like a study plan and like a guide. I think just like come home from school, maybe a bit of physical activity, like either after rugby training or walking on the beach just down the road. That's always nice to take your mind off it and then get into it. Like have a nice shower and then start the studying.
Yeah, and a lot of studying he does too. Okay, so from that perspective, are you better at night or in the morning as far as working on your homework? Or do you like to get it all out of the way at lunchtime at school?
No, I like to get it out of the way in the afternoon, so none of those ones. But yeah, just after school, just pump it out. Or yeah, night time's always nice, just after dinner. But no, I can't wake up in the morning and do it.
If I was to ask you on behalf of all teenagers at school, what is the number one or a couple of things that you would love from your parents, either from a support point of view, a encouragement point of view, like it's different for boys and girls, but from your perspective, what helps you succeed or feel like you're doing okay?
Just the odd pat on the back, I guess. I don't necessarily need a lot. I'm pretty independent when it comes to that stuff, but yeah, just a good meal. Sit down, have a chat about how things are going, I guess.
So we note that, mums. Feed them. A hungry man's an angry man. Feed that belly and we're sorted. As far as, these years, and I mean, we've not rehearsed this, by the way. As far as being a teenager in this day and age, what are your thoughts around things like PlayStation, time on your phone? Like, you don't know any other world. Do you think you do it too much? Is there a balance? Is there something that matters to you around this?
Yeah, I think there's always good to have a balance about the PlayStation, so the gaming consoles or whatever. If you're just like, on the holidays, you can just go on it whenever you want. But I say, when it's like school, you don't go on it during the week. And I'm not going to really go on it during the weekends, to be honest. Like, year 11 and 12 are pretty big years, so you got to focus on them.
Do you think that they're a really big addiction? Like, is it easy to get away from games?
I think, yeah, kids get easily addicted to, like, many video games, and it can be a huge distraction from schoolwork and things that really matter, but it's just finding a balance, I guess, for the kids.
What would you say to mums to help create that balance? 1 hour a day, half an hour a day, wait till the weekend?
I find that 1 hour a day with like saying that to kids doesn't really work for them, because then they like want to sneakily get back on it or something. If you're like giving them strict guidelines, I reckon giving them a guideline but loosely, like give them a bit more independence. So you could, I guess, yeah, just like on the weekends, and I guess they'd know you don't want them sitting on it for like 8 hours straight. So it's just finding that balance, what works for you and your kids.
And probably teaching them why it's not a good thing to be on them. Like, I know for you, what worked for you was actually saying your brain is getting overloaded. We need some fresh air. And So as far as phones are concerned, are you allowed them in school?
You're not allowed them in class, no.
And what do you do? How do you get in touch with people? And
apparently you're meant to have your phones like turned off and stuff in class, but no one does. But yeah, it's a bit of a distraction, the phone in class. But I don't find it that much of a distraction. If you're learning something important, you'll knuckle down. But you can always text someone like in the break.
Yeah. Can I ask you a personal question around school and bullying, and do you see much of it? Is it hard to watch? Have you found yourself caught up in it ever before? Like, what would be your advice around that?
At Flinders, there's actually not a lot of bullying that goes on. It's mainly, there's not actually any bullying, I don't think, that goes on out in the open. I'm sure like social media and stuff has an effect on others, but I haven't seen any of it.
What makes Flinders, your school, someone that has that under control? Is that because there's a really strong line against it?
Yeah, I think so. There's like a zero tolerance to it, which is good.
Can I ask you, from a health perspective, when you're not well, when you're not feeling your best, and when you're going down a little bit, maybe with coughs, colds, flus and things like that, does it annoy you that your mother gives you massive amounts of green drinks and camu and that we put the vaporizer and the diffuser on with immune boost? And are you open? I mean, you never complain, but you do as you're told. But does it feel good to know that you have those things?
Yeah, it does. Sorry. Yeah, I'd like it because it can't make you any worse.
Yeah.
And I always find it picks me back up on my feet within a few days.
Yeah.
And lots of cold and flu tablets. No, just kidding.
You rat bag. What about from a point of view of in your room? You were the reason, I don't know if you know this, but you were the reason why 28 got diffusers online and into our shop, because I figured at 14, when you decided you wanted it, you took it from the lounge and into your room because Taylor had a cough. I figured if a 14-year-old boy wants a diffuser in his room, then anybody would buy a diffuser. It's not like you initiate putting it on all the time, but whenever I come in and put it on, you're always quite happy about it.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll help you with studying this year and using it more of a tool?
Yeah, I do enjoy it. Just being on in the background, lets off a nice scent, and you know it's good for you. It's not like one of those ones that those air freshener car things
Yeah.
that are horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like having them on in the room. It's just something, and the little bubbling noise they make or whatever. It's just like it's
Kinda
calming.
soothing.
Yeah.
All right, so to sum up, top 3 tips for getting back to school. 1, organisation. 2,
Physicality.
physicality, getting physical, so just letting off a bit of steam or going for a walk, getting into nature. And number 3,
third would be finding like a good work ethic for yourself.
good work ethic.
Yeah.
And that includes, I guess, a good ethic around your food, not too... I mean, you're not a great big sugar or big dairy eater. So the thing I've heard from you is you love your meat and you love your veggies. You love hummuses and dips.
I'd say lifestyle ethic actually. There's like a balance between bad foods and good foods, and then a good, like, if you eat well, your brain will cooperate, and then you'll want to study, or not want, but like it'll make studying easier.
Yeah. You've noticed that for you?
Yeah. So having like a healthy diet, and compared to like being on junk food and stuff, you're just a lot better person on the healthy food.
So Jacob, the fact that we're on air and the fact that this is going out to our whole database, I'd like to ask you, are you intending on having any more gathos this year?
No.
Rat bag. Hey, look, thanks a heap, sweetheart. It's such a privilege to have my kids involved in this work. I love the way they follow me. I really appreciate what they give to me and what they teach me, but more importantly, I hope that it helps you. If you've got any comments to make, just please place them below this video. Give us some feedback. If you've got any questions for Jacob, then please, by all means, put them below this video. This week's gorgeous recipe is the jam drops that Jacob was talking about, one of his favourite go-tos in his lunchbox. So I've made sure that that's there for you. And please have a look at the blog this week all around being organised and what it takes for a young person to feel like their life is organised. It's short, it's brief, it's to the point, which is probably how boys like to communicate anyway. But I really encourage you to jump online, share this video, share the blog and the recipe. And until next week, take care, be kind, and look after yourself.